Chapter 12. A Patriarchal Priesthood. The priesthood is descended in a regular line from father to son, through their succeeding generations. TPJS, page 173. John Taylor explained that the patriarchal order of priesthood was established even before Abraham. We find that after the days of Noah an order was introduced called the patriarchal order, in which every man managed his own family affairs. In what is known among us as the priesthood of the Son of God, or the priesthood after the order of Melchizedek, JD 17207. That priesthood was to be continued down through his children and on to theirs, forever. The priesthood is a patriarchal or father-son order which even God follows, for he presides over no one but his own children. Orson Pratt explained. Who will be the subjects in the kingdom which they will rule who are exalted in the celestial kingdom of our God? Will they reign over their neighbors' children? Oh no! Over whom then will they reign? Their own children, their own posterity will be the citizens of their kingdoms. In other words, the patriarchal order will prevail there to the endless ages of eternity, and the children of each patriarch will be his, while eternal ages roll on. JD 15309. This pattern of heaven was brought down and taught to the children of men, so that the priesthood of God would be established through a designated, or chosen, lineage on the earth. Certain people were selected in the premortal life and selected again in mortality to be known as the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These were to be part of a nation of priests, a kingdom of kings, the house of Israel, all bearing the priesthood, and passing it down through their generations. The Lord re-established this patriarchal system with Moses and again under Christ, but the people failed to maintain the laws of that kingdom. It was again restored in the latter days to the prophet Joseph, who stated, "When Egypt was under the superintendence of Joseph it prospered, because he was taught of God. When they oppressed the Israelites, destruction came upon them." When the children of Israel were chosen with Moses at their head, they were to be a peculiar people, among whom God should place his name. Their motto was, "The Lord is our lawgiver, the Lord is our judge, the Lord is our king, and he shall reign over us." While in this state they might truly say, "Happy is that people whose God is the Lord." Their government was a theocracy. They had God to make their laws, and men chosen by him to administer them. He was their God, and they were his people. Moses received the word of the Lord from God himself. He was the mouth of God to Aaron, and Aaron taught the people. In both civil and ecclesiastical affairs, they were both one. There was no distinction. So will it be when the purposes of God shall be accomplished, when the Lord shall be king over the whole earth and Jerusalem his throne. The law shall go forth from Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. TPJS, page 252. The patriarchal system was established to be a heavenly order, but through the years in this latter dispensation, it has also been changed. The political, social, and economic system the saints are now under is part of a Gentile system, the same condition that existed among the Israelites when they were tamping bricks for the Egyptians. Instead of the Gentiles serving Israel as hewers of wood and drawers of water, Josh 9:22, the Israelites have become servants to the Gentiles. The Lord promised Abraham and Jacob that kings would be among their descendants. See Gen. 17:2-7, 35:9-12. This did not refer to the kings of a worldly monarchy who ruled as tyrants and made the world slaves. These were priesthood kings that would rule by the laws of God. These were men who would lead the people in the spiritual, patriarchal, economic, social and political laws of God. Indeed, they would be sons of God in the sacred patriarchal order, for the Lord commanded, "And the man that will do presumptuously, and will not hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister there before the Lord thy God, or unto the judge, even that man shall die. And thou shalt put away the evil from Israel. And all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumptuously. When thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me, thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayst not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother." Deut. 17:12-15. Leviticus, the third book of the Bible, is interpreted as the priest's law or book of the priests. It contains laws governing sacrifices, purification, blood, and the Day of Atonement. This book honors the name of Levi, the third son of Jacob and Leah and an ancestor of Jesus Christ. See Luke 3:24. Phinehas, a grandson of Aaron, was also of the tribe of Levi, and a man of high moral integrity. It is written that Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. One of the Israelites brought one of these women into camp, and when Phinehas The son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it. He rose up from among the congregation, and took a javelin in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent, and thrust both of them through. Num. 25:7-8. So the Lord made a covenant with him, and he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his God, and made an atonement for the children of Israel. Num. 25:12-13. Moses was told to bring all the sons of Aaron in and put upon Aaron the holy garments, and to clothe his sons and anoint them as priests, for their anointing shall surely be an everlasting priesthood throughout their generations. Ex. 40:15. Under Gentile law, Phinehas would probably have been condemned to death or life in prison for his actions. The prophet Joseph commented on this. Here is a little of law which must be fulfilled. The Levitical priesthood is forever hereditary, fixed on the head of Aaron and his sons forever, and was in active operation down to Zacharias the father of John. TPJS, page 319. At the time of the Restoration, this law was again put into effect according to Revelation. Nevertheless, a bishop must be chosen from the high priesthood, unless he is a literal descendant of Aaron, for unless he is a literal descendant of Aaron, he cannot hold the keys of that priesthood. Nevertheless, a high priest, that is, after the order of Melchizedek, may be set apart unto the ministering of temporal things, having a knowledge of them by the Spirit of truth. And also to be a judge in Israel, to do the business of the church, to sit in judgment upon transgressors upon testimony, as it shall be laid before him according to the laws, by the assistance of his counselors, whom he has chosen or will choose among the elders of the church. This is the duty of a bishop who is not a literal descendant of Aaron, but has been ordained to the high priesthood after the order of Melchizedek. Thus shall he be a judge, even a common judge among the inhabitants of Zion, or in a stake of Zion, or in any branch of the church where he shall be set apart unto this ministry, until the borders of Zion are enlarged, and it becomes necessary to have other bishops or judges in Zion or elsewhere. And inasmuch as there are other bishops appointed, they shall act in the same office. But a literal descendant of Aaron has a legal right to the presidency of this priesthood, to the keys of this ministry, to act in the office of bishop independently, without counselors, except in a case where a president of the high priesthood, after the order of Melchizedek, is tried to sit as a judge in Israel. D&C 107:69-76. Here we see that a man can be a bishop if he is not a literal descendant of Aaron, but he cannot hold the keys of that priesthood. Such a bishop must have 2 counselors, but a literal descendant of Aaron can act independently, without counselors. So why are these men specially chosen? Because of a covenant God made with their ancestors and on down through their children as an everlasting inheritance. The father-son relationship among the sons of God did not just pertain to their real estate, wealth or possessions. It also included the high priesthood, i.e., Jacob passed it on to his 12 sons, and within that family the priesthood was to remain. But the descendants of Jacob, or Israel, were not always able to maintain such strict statutes and laws, and so in the latter days it was necessary for another try. That restoration was not merely the return to the earth of the priesthood and its several keys, but the establishment of the patriarchal order on earth. This was to be accomplished through the ministry of those who had the legal right, by promise, to the priesthood in the last days. For this reason the Revelation stated that the priesthood was to remain in and through the designated individuals and their descendants, who would bring about the restoration of all things. Doctrines of the Kingdom, Hiram Andrus, page 533. With the restoration of the priesthood came also the ordinances, principles, covenants, and even restrictions. It was not a new order but the restoration of the old order.